All right, this is Sean with Rock All Photography Music Magazine, and I'm sitting down with Sam from the band Red Rain. How's it going, Sam?
I'm fine. How are you tonight?
Good, and thanks for taking some time to talk to us. Can you tell our readers about the band Red Rain and where you guys are all from?
So we're a band out of Richmond, Virginia. Been together about 4 years. We are an all-original band. Don't do any covers, even though we may add one, but we're pretty much all original. We write our own material, and we are considered a classic, more melodic rock type band.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say my next question was, how would you describe the sound of Red Rain to anyone that's not heard the music?
So it's the music is basically a lot of what we threw into the pot, as well as our influences. For instance, my influence, I'm a huge monster David Lee Roth Van Halen fan. So obviously I try to throw some double bass drumming, sort of a boom sound for Alex Van Halen type drumming. Stevie, a little more Dockenish kind of guitar playing. Bubba, our singer and guitar player, has a mixture of influences, so that's all brought out. But Kiss is one. And then Larry, our bass player, his main influence probably Rush. So we take those influences that we listen to, obviously, and we kind of basically had songs that we wrote, and we all just kind of bring that to the table. And what we've come up with is obviously what's on the EP.
Well, after listening to it, I think you nailed it right there. I mean, the description's perfect.
Thank you.
How'd you guys come up with the band name? Is there a story behind Red Rain?
I feel bad because everybody's asked me this question, and it's really there's no great story behind it. The song Red Rain, the song that's on the album, really came first.
Oh, okay.
We had written the song Red Rain, and while we were searching for a band name, like probably every band in the world, you walk down the street, you see a napkin floating in the air, so your floating napkin, or you just try to find every name.
Right.
And we just couldn't find one that stuck, and all of a sudden, I don't know who came up with the idea, but we just decided, yeah, the Red Rain.
Oh, okay. Well, that works,
that's
right?
That's really how we came up with it. I wish I had like a better story but I don't.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah.
So I see that you guys recently released a music video for the song Red Rain, and, listening to it and reading the lyrics, it sounds of evil and anger, and then watching the video, you get that kind of angry feeling, and you see the red rain, I guess, falling into the water. Can you talk a little bit about the song and the video and how they work together?
Sure. So the song Red Rain really is about, and it's hard to quote me this. I don't really do the writing, but I have asked Bubba. But it's about someone, I don't know, male or female, but someone who has just enough anger built inside of them, and it festers, and all of a sudden it's like they've had enough, and it's unleashed. And that's really what it is. The song itself, which is my favorite on the EP, it's aggressive, it's straight to the point. I think from beginning to end, it's nonstop rock. But the song is it's unleashing sort of your fury. The video that we did really shows the side of that. I wouldn't say it shows us being sort of that fury or anger, but what I think the video shows is sort of what we're capable, obviously, of what we look like when we play. We try to bring sort of that 80s show back, not just standing there playing your music. Try to keep people engaged, and so the video really captured the essence of the band, in my opinion.
I gotcha. Yeah, the visuals of you guys playing, you definitely look, engaged and into what you're doing, and a lot of energy, which is great.
Yeah, thanks.
We really,
I mean, to kind of tag on to this, we really, and I know every band says, but we really thoroughly enjoy playing these songs. You know does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So,
it's your baby.
Getting on stage and playing, we really enjoy it.
Absolutely.
And I think that comes through.
Yeah, I mean that can be said for hobbyists, musicians. If it's your creation, you love it. And if you love it, then it shows. And I think that would be a great way of describing you guys in that video. You can tell you guys are loving what you're doing out there, which is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about the self-titled release? I saw it was overseen by Grammy-nominated producer David Ivory, who did like Hailstorm and Silvertide.
Right, and he did the Roots album too.
Oh, okay. And what tracks off that album would stand out that you would want like our readers to check out first?
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about the EP itself. So we had put out a full-length CD called Chasing Shadows before we met David and before we met our publicist. So when we got into the mix with our publicist and decided how we were going to move forward and record, David really, we didn't have a lot of time to do what we wanted to do, so we took these songs came off the original full-length CD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so what we did was we gave them to David. We met David sort of via phone conference. And David was great. I mean, listening to him talk on the phone was like a breath of fresh air. He, obviously a guy in that kind of position knows what he wants and knows how to get there, which was the end result. But going up there and meeting him, so what we did is let me back up. I'm sorry. We took the five strongest songs that he liked, and we reworked them, and that's really what this EP is.
Oh, okay.
But working with David, the great thing about it was he never changed what we did. He never, said, hey, if this doesn't work, that doesn't work. He took what we already had and sort of made the songs flow a little bit better, and added a couple parts here and took a couple parts out from the originals. And they flow better. And not that I don't love Chasing Shadows. Chasing Shadows was a self-produced CD that we did with a great engineer here in Richmond, a guy named Grant Rutledge, who I love Grant. Grant and I go way back. But David just sort of took the ideas that we had and, like, hey, this isn't going to work, let's try this. But it was never, with a guy like that, it was never, hey, it's my way or the highway, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And that goes a long way. It really does. And I think I speak for the rest of the band. We thoroughly enjoyed working with David Ivory. It was a wonderful experience.
That's awesome. Do you have like a favorite track on the album that we would want to check out?
My favorite track is Red Rain, believe it or not.
Oh, I believe it. That's a great song. I've listened.
There's so much. I know it's only a 5-song EP, but there really is a song for everybody who likes rock and roll in there. And I'll go through them for you if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Okay, so Not That Way, really, and you've heard the whole EP, correct?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so Not That Way, and you can disagree with me, let me know if I'm wrong, because it's nice to hear feedback, but Not That Way is your typical rock song. It's a radio-friendly song. It's got your hooks in there, and that's why we wrote it. We liked it, It reminded me, and everybody thinks I'm crazy, it reminded me a little bit of The Cult when we first started playing it, but...
No, I agree with that.
But anyway, but that's sort of your sort of rock song that I think will appeal to everybody. Then it moves on to Toxic. Toxic's a little heavier. It's got some melody to it, but it's also got some hard-edged drums, bass, and guitar in that. Chains is a really bass and double bass, because I play double bass drums.
Right.
It's a double bass-driven tune. And then Red Rain is just an aggressive rock song, hard rock from beginning to end. I think it starts out on fire and it ends on fire.
Absolutely.
And then the 5th song is What Is Love For, which, like any hard rock band has to do, you put that love ballad on there.
That's right.
And it's a great song. I think it's sort of a little bit more, not really a love ballad, more of a power ballad, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree with that too, for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, I think.
So would you disagree? I'm just curious. Would you disagree with anything that I said with this song? Did you hear something else?
No,
I'm curious.
I think it's funny you mentioned the Cult, because I'm a big Cult fan, and I thought I heard some Cult in there. I think I heard elements of Alice in Chains in some songs too, which but that's just my upbringing and what I was kind of raised listening to, so I can relate to those sounds. But no.
So the original, just so you know, the original Not That Way, when came in when we wrote that. He started playing the beginning, and so what I had done was I heard this sort of cult drum where, it's snare, bass drum, like bop, 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 just on the snare, and that just always reminds me of the Cult. And it just does. I don't know why, but I love the Cult myself. I love older Cult, but yeah.
Yeah, I think Rain was one of my first, quote, alternative, in quote, albums that I ever had, or cassette back then. Yeah. And I love that album.
I remember hearing She Sells Sanctuary years ago.
Yep, that was the one.
Just kick ass.
That's what hooked me into them. And I just kind of followed the ride with them up to the harder rock stuff.
Great band.
I see that you guys are doing Summer Bash here in Ohio, Wooster, Ohio, which is not close to me down here in Cincinnati, but still in Ohio, and you're doing that with Jackal and some other bands. That looks like a pretty fun setup up there, and you guys have any other touring plans going forward?
Well, let me say that Jackal is not a part of that show.
Oh, okay.
We're playing in Lynchburg, Virginia the week before that with Jackal.
Oh, okay. My bad.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure. We're actually coming up. We're playing. Yeah, well, first of all, how could you not be excited to play with Jackal?
Right.
What a fun band. I get to see somebody use a chainsaw live on stage.
Right.
So that'll be fun. We're really excited about the Jackal show. And then a week later, we come to Wooster, Ohio. I hope I got that right.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, Wooster, Ohio. And we were playing at a festival, Summer Bash, and that's with Billy Morris and the band Tough.
Oh, okay.
And Every Mother's Nightmares on that bill. And we're really excited about to play with all these guys.
Cool.
And, we couldn't be any happier. So if anybody's in the area, come out and take a listen. Come say hi. Come meet the band. We always look to meet new people. We always enjoy that. So we're really stoked about that. And we have some other shows in the works, but I generally don't like to talk about them for obvious reasons. That when the T's aren't crossed and the I's aren't dotted, then it's not a show yet.
Right. And speaking of tours, you guys have toured with some big acts like Tesla and some others. What would be your dream tour right now if you guys could hit the road with any band anytime? Van Halen. That would be really cool. You guys would fit in great with that.
Again, I listen to Van Halen and again, David Lee Roth Van Halen.
Yeah.
I listen to Van Halen every single day of my life.
That's cool.
It's just, yeah. But, don't get me wrong. If that was the one band, but there's so many bands I would love to be on the road with.
Right.
And, I'll take anything I can get at this point. We just love playing live.
Right.
Yeah. We just dig it, man.
So what would be the biggest highlight so far for you all?
The Tesla tour was a monster highlight in our career.
That's cool.
Monster. But I will tell you this. So, this is a little bit sort of more off the record, but Bubba and I were in a band before Red Rain that we opened for Cheap Trick.
Oh, that'd be cool. I got to photograph them once or twice, and it's just fun looking at legends right in front of you like that,
Yeah. That's sort of a highlight in my career. That wouldn't be Red Rain. Red Rain's career, I would say the Tesla tour.
Yeah.
Being on the road with Tesla, actually meeting Tesla, and not only really meeting them, but the first night, like a couple of the guys came into our dressing room and introduced themselves, and I'm like, wow, that's sort of the other way around. But Troy Laketta came in and we sat and talked to him for 15 minutes, and then Frank Hannon came in, we talked to him, talked to Jeff Key, and then like by the third night, we got to take our, we did a big group photo, and they were really appreciative, and obviously we're appreciative. And, it's so nice when you meet these guys that they still probably could have a chip on their shoulder, but they don't. And, some good advice. So,
that
was a highlight. We just finished 2 shows with Dawkins. So we met Don and Mick Brown. Again, these are guys you grew up with, and it's surreal that years ago you're watching them, in music videos, and then next thing you know, you're sharing the same stage with them. So, as highlights, man. You know, it's like with Lita Ford.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if that, so, you know, meeting her was great.
I bet.
Quiet Riot.
Quiet Riot. That's awesome. Yeah, I saw you guys actually played here in Cincinnati with Tesla, and I totally missed that show.
Oh, dude. Come on.
Right.
I know.
Anything else that you would want our readers/listeners to know about Red Rain going forward, the future?
Well, just come take a listen. You might like it, you might not like it, but come give it a try. I urge everybody to try new music. You know, all of us, we all get in that mode where we like to go to a bar, we like to listen to cover bands, and I love cover bands, and anybody who steps on stage and plays an instrument in front of people, I have the most respect for. But, obviously, I did that for years. But, you know, to go out there and write a song and put your heart out there and for people to judge you, I think is the hardest thing in the world. And there's so many great bands out there.
Yeah.
So go take a listen, whether it's Red Rain or not Red Rain, but go take a listen to some of these bands that are out there playing the hard rock. And, you know, give them, you know, like I said, you know, try it. You might not like it, but just try it because there's some great music out there. But come try Red Rain.
Absolutely, and along with the interview audio, we'll also have links to all of your social media and websites and where you can pick up the album and all that good information on there. And
I appreciate that. I really do. And listen, I say this every time, and I know, you know, some people do not think it's genuine, but it's very genuine that, you know, I really appreciate people who take the time that want to talk to me. I mean, to help us spread the word is what we need. And so I thank you from the bottom of my heart, because if it wasn't for guys like you or girls like you who do interviews and stuff, people wouldn't get the word out. So I do want to thank you as well.
Oh, I appreciate it. You know, it's not all about just covering the biggest names out there. You know, some of their names speak for themselves, you know, giving some press to bands that are on the up-and-coming list, you know, and that are putting out good music and putting in the effort to get noticed. And, you know, we're all about trying to share as much information as we can. So as those press releases come over...
alive, man. That's the key.
Absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate your time, Sam, and good luck. And it's too bad I won't see you in Worcester, but hopefully I'll see you on the road here soon.
Oh, I hope so. And again, I appreciate your time. But if you can if somehow you make it, let me know.
I will.
If somehow you can turn that around, we'd love to see you. So.
All right. Definitely will, man. You have a great night.
You do the same. Thanks again. Take care of yourself now.
All right. Thanks, Sam.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.